Joining me live now is Liberal MP Keith Wolahan, who joins me every week. Keith, why did the Coalition vote against the motion? I did see Bridget Archer behind Gabrielle Shipton, also Matt Canavan was there. Why did the opposition vote against it?
No, I'm glad you asked that, and many of my constituents have asked me for good reason. Peter Dutton in May last year said that this has gone on too long. That is a view that I share, and most of my colleagues in the coalition share as well. The reality is that the motion that was put before the Parliament had a few sentences that we would have liked to have seen amended. I understand that Mr Wilkie was asked to make those amendments. He didn't. I think that's a great shame. We missed out on an opportunity of the entire Parliament, maybe bar one or two, supporting that motion. And it goes to a court case coming up. There's a sub judice rule in our Parliament which applies to courts in Australia. Of course, that doesn't apply to a court overseas, but the principles apply. We don't want to be seen to interfere in a court case. But I will continue to make other representations and have done so privately and will continue to do so.
So your view is it's near unanimous support within the Parliament that Assange should be allowed to return home now that he's done his time, whether you like him or loathe him?
I haven't done a poll of my colleagues, but just a lot of us spoke about this yesterday, and we have it at other occasions. I think it's fair to say there's a significant majority of my colleagues who share Peter Dutton's view and my view that this has gone on too long. But I also respect other colleagues who really take exception to the risk to security personnel that had their lives put at risk by the leaks. Those are complex views. And again, I think you can acknowledge one and also say that he has done his time.
On to the events of the week with the parliamentary stoush over immigration detainees. Did the government fight out a stalemate on this?
I sat in Parliament and listened very closely to the answers given by the minister. It was really quite shocking to hear answers to questions about calling victims of serious crimes, a commitment that he had given and the government had committed to through the Deputy Prime Minister last year, asking for their phone number and then giving the 1-800 respect number. I was really disappointed to hear that. It feels like nothing has happened since the end of last year. It was quite shocking that the minister isn't across the detail, especially months after being put on notice.
Do you believe his reassurance that the Operation Aegis, as it's called, federal and state authorities are monitoring those high-risk individuals that have been returned to the community?
I think Australians don't trust this process that's in place. And so there's an understandable degree of scepticism that Australians are actually being kept safe. So I think we are not satisfied. We'll see what happens when we come back to Parliament in just over a week. But I would like to see the minister give more concrete answers that he has got control of this issue and is putting the interest of Australians above all else.
Keith Wolahan, member for Menzies, Liberal MP. Thanks. Talk to you next week.
Thanks for having me, Kieran.